With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I am your host, Brandy, the Millennial Manager, and today is Monday. If you are inside of Patreon, if you are outside of Patreon, it's Wednesday. Either way, happy Monday, happy hump day. For those of you who are listening on Monday, I do hope you had a chance to go back and listen to our Motivation Monday episode. That is available where you listen to all your podcasts. And we discussed really the issue with how many jobs have been cut from the U.S. It's about 800,000. So we're very close to almost 1 million jobs, positions lost in the last 3 to 4 months. Just 2025 alone, we have lost almost 1 million jobs due to layoffs. Okay? That's what the fuck we talked about. We talked about them fake ass numbers that the motherfuckers is pushing and how really that unemployment number is much larger than 4%. 800,000. That's a fucking lot. That's not 4%. Like compared to all the jobs that we have, that has to be, the unemployment rate has to be at like 7. I think the numbers are wrong. Like just like May and June were. They padded those jobs and made it seem like we had almost 250,000 more jobs than what we really had. We only have 14 and 19,000 in each of those months, which is severely below where we should be. It's just sad, man. I'm gonna say it again. If you got somebody that's like pushing content about resume, and it's not your fucking resume, we just lost 800,000 jobs in this year. People have been laid off left and right. It's not always the fucking resume. It's not always the resume. But anyway, I talked about that in the Motivation Monday. So make sure, and I actually called it Information Monday because it's not motivational. Your ass need to know what the fuck is going on. And if ain't nobody else gonna tell your ass the truth, you know I'm a motherfucking tell you. It ain't got shit to do with your fucking resume. Some of y'all, it's a small portion, but I digress. Go listen to the Information Monday. It is not motivation. It's information that your ass needs to know about the current job market and what you can do to make your situation better. You understand? Today, we're going to do an email episode. Last week, I had to have funeral services for my great uncle, so my grandfather's brother. And I had family here from Tallahassee, so I was a little occupied with that on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they left out Sunday. So we're getting back into the swing of things with bringing back the podcast, and that's what we're going to be doing today. All right, and starting with our first email, this one says, "Hey, Brandy. Hey, boo. How you doing? I love your content. Thank you so much. I noticed that you speak on how white women in corporate America will always play the victim, spew lies to an employee to get their way or on an employee to get their way. I just recently had a job where a white woman who was deeply insecure started a smear campaign about me and my native origin and tried to convince others that I was unqualified for the position because of that. It ended up with everyone turning against me, and I started receiving racist harassment from her and others. The interesting thing is only half truths were being told, but altogether it was discrimination. Harassed me into quitting, but I have all my evidence and filed an EEO claim. It would be amazing if you share my story just to share some highlights on how insecure Jezebel-spirited women will go to deep depths to control and manipulate everyone in the workplace. You know what, honey? Listen. I talked about this a while back, and it was a little touchy for some people, but it was the God honest truth that there are people in the workplace that are just manipulative, and they have to create like a gang almost to go up against you, especially if you're somebody that they consider to be a threat in the workplace. The fact that she created a smear campaign about your native origin, like what does that have to do with my ability to do my job? And you are right that whatever they were saying, you said it was racist and harassment, it is along those lines of discrimination. And I would definitely, just like you did or said, that you're going to file this EEO claim. I do believe you should, 100%. I hope that during that time before you quit the job that you reported her bad behavior, you reported the negative things that she was saying, reported the gang behavior of her followers inside of the workplace. And I hope that you reported that to HR so that you have something on record that says you gave the company an opportunity to fix this shit, right? Y'all, when you have situations like this happen in the workplace where you're being ganged up on, there's some type of discrimination, you feel like you're being harassed, even if it's one person, 2 people, 3 people, whatever, all you need is 3 documented instances that shows a fucking behavior. That's what you need to show. Because 1 time could be a misunderstanding, right? 2 times could still be a misunderstanding. It's like, is this a behavior? 3 times, bitch? No. That you intentionally are doing this. This is what your intention is. And so that's why I tell y'all you need to have 3 documented instances of this smear campaign, the collaborated efforts amongst the coworkers and her, and then also the things that they have said that are either racist and borderline, harassment, or it is actual harassment. So even in this, without really going into deep depth of what they said, you told us 3 instances right there. That's all the fuck you need. The smear campaign, the harassment, the gang behavior in the workplace. And what's so fucking insane is that these are grown ass people, grown ass motherfuckers that act like children. Okay? These motherfuckers are grown. And it happens in every setting. It doesn't matter what industry you are in. It happens. It happens. And you just have to be able to spot it. When you have a situation like that, you want to create the documentation that shows and outlines what was said, who said it, who was around, the day, the time, what were you communicating about. Like, you have to have a detailed report, and you need to have it at least on 3 different instances where these things have happened. So I do feel like you are going the correct route of filing the EEO claim. I do hope that you have documented evidence that you attempted to settle this situation via HR, and HR declined. They did not do anything about it. I hope that that is the case, because then this case will definitely go in your favor. And most definitely. Seriously. Okay? So I wish you all the best of luck with that. And continue pushing forward. I'm so happy that you got yourself out of that situation. That is nowhere that you should be working under that type of stress. And y'all, please be vigilant. Be vigilant. I know in this particular situation, someone was talking about race, but it don't even have to be that. Sometimes it just be like, what you wore today. You think you all that. No, bitch, you think I'm all that. That's why you so toe up about me. I don't think that. You think that. That's why you so fucking mad. Let's continue. We're going to go to our next email. This one says, "Hi, Brandy. Hello. How are you? I wanted to get your advice on something. I was hired 6 months ago, and when I accepted the job, the agreement was that the role would be hybrid, just 1 day in the office per week, which I was completely fine with. Now they have changed the policy and requiring 2 days in the office. I live 1.5 hours away, so this really impacts me, and honestly, I feel a little bit misled. To make things more difficult, my director has been challenging to work with, which adds to the frustration. I'm feeling disappointment and unsure how to bring this up without it being taken the wrong way or affecting how I am viewed. What would you do, or what do you suggest that I do in this situation?" Betty, I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to like, okay? The corporation or the organization that you work for reserves the right to change hours of operation, days that y'all have to be in the office, regardless of what was told to you in the beginning. Because when you were hired, yes, that was the case. However, things have shifted, things have changed, and this is the requirement that the company has for team members. Now, my thing is that I understand you live an hour and a half away. I understand that, but that's really not your problem. Your real problem is that your director is hard for you to work with, and you don't want to be around this motherfucker more than you need to, okay? It's so different working with a person online because you can cut your computer off, okay? You can unplug the internet. You can, not saying that's what you're doing, but there are ways to get around this person because they're not going to just sit on the internet with you all day. Versus you being in the office where you are accessible to this person, and that's what the real fucking problem is. A drive, not that big of a deal. You could get you a snack, a good podcast like this one, hallelujah, and you're going to be good. But that's not your real issue. Your issue is that you do not want to work with this bitch. That's the real problem. And that's where your frustration is. And your days, I'm going to just tell you, your days are going to increase from there. They're just doing this to test y'all out, to get you back into the workplace. They are going to increase your days. They're going to require you to go into the office more often. Right now, it's just 2 days. But I guarantee you by next year, y'all going to be at 3 and then at 4 and then fully inside of the office, no longer remote. They're going to take away your remote access. That's exactly where this is going. I understand that you feel misled, but unfortunately, they do reserve the right and have the ability to shift what the requirement is. And you have to either be like, yes, I can do this, or no, I cannot. If you cannot, then I suggest you keep that to yourself and find you another job until you can, get up out of here. Keep it quiet. Don't tell them nothing. You've only been there 6 months. Shut your mouth. Do them 2 days and know that you are getting ready to exit. Okay? Unfortunately, that is the case. They can shift based on requirements of the business, and that's the protected status of them changing even the hours of operation. If they wanted to work late, they could do that too. You just have to say, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this. Unless you have some type of debilitating illness that affects you being at work or affects how you're working, then, honey, you got to be at the office 2 days a week. So I hope you, or wish you, the best of luck in this scenario. And, girl, find you something else, because them days going to fucking increase. This is just a test, baby. They're like, oh, it's just one additional day. The days are going to continue to go up from there. So make sure you are informed. Okay? Okay. All right. Our next person, it says, good morning. My husband is accused of touching a female's ear. They have yet to talk to his union person, or union rep is what you mean. Union rep came to him and told him he had been on the job for 20 years. Coworker only 2 months. What does that mean? What does that matter? That he had been on the job for 20 years. Did he do it? It doesn't matter if it was ear or not. And I want to make sure we are not minimizing what he did, okay? I want to make sure we're not doing that, because you put female ear. He touched a person that he had no business touching, right? Or he was accused of touching this person in a way that they did not appreciate. So I don't know whether or not he did it or not, because you also did not say that he did not. I'm sorry. Your husband need to keep his fucking hands to himself. And that's my opinion on that. I have nothing further to say on that. If your husband did that, Miss Girl, he need to learn how to keep his fucking hands to himself. And that is inappropriate. I don't give a fuck what the reason is, why he thinks that it's okay. So what, the coworker been on the job 2 months? He has no business in anyone's personal space. You understand? Thank you. Okay? This is a lesson that needs to be learned immediately. All right. Last email. This one says, hello there. I really need your help. I've been in urology for 8 years. There's an open position for a lead, and for the past 6 months or higher, for the last 6 months, higher ups, have been ignoring my request. I love my job. Now I'm afraid if I stay, I will never get that promotion. I do all the clinic staff schedules, order supplies, train new clinical staff, work side by side with my manager, but yet they are refusing to give me the lead position. Should I stay or should I leave? I want to leave because I feel like they are just using me and don't care for me to grow within that medical group, but I love urology. Find another one. What are we talking about here? You literally just said what I'm about to tell your ass. Let's continue. I asked again about the position, and they brushed me off, and they say there's just a few more things. And then I asked, what is that I'm missing? If you see something that I don't fit the position, they can never respond directly and say, we will talk. Girl, fuck them. Go find you another fucking job. Go find you another urology clinic with a lead position opportunity. Stop asking them motherfuckers for this job. They don't want you in the position. They want you right there doing all the shit that you mentioned. Training clinical staff, going over or doing the clinical staff schedule, ordering supplies, training new team member. Bitch, they want you to do that position for the same pay with it ain't going to be the same pay if you were a lead, but they don't want you to have the additional pay. Number one, you're doing it at the rate that you're being paid right now. You are the fucking lead without the pay. Stop doing that shit. You say you work side by side with your manager. Let your manager do all that. That's the fucking problem. You acting as if you are the manager and this is your team. No, you are a team member and you need to act like it. You need to act like it right now. That's why they abusing you. They abusing you and using your ass, and you know it. That's why you wrote that. You said, I want to leave because I feel like they are using me. You know it. You know it. And you know that's what I was going to tell your ass too. Get to it. Find you another fucking job. Do not apply or ask them motherfuckers about this job no more because they don't want you in the position. If they wanted you in the position, it would have been easy for them to make it. But the fact that they keep talking around you and coming up with all this extra bullshit, no, bitch. Move on. Okay? Thank you very much. All right, guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful Monday if you are inside of Patreon and you're listening to me talk. If you are on your platforms where you listen to podcasts, please make sure y'all are sharing and tell y'all cousins, aunties, all those people about the podcast. And I look forward to being back here on Wednesday, and we're going to record an actual main topic episode because we haven't done one of those in a while. And we're going to be talking about some things inside of the workplace based on some of the comments that I've been seeing on social media. So I will see y'all motherfuckers later. Y'all have a good ass day. Patreon, thank you so much for your continued support. And y'all have a good ass day. Bye.